Hey artists and creators, J-Star here, and today I want to show you how I made these abstract painted hearts. They're just layers and layers of craft paint. So simple, but look how beautiful they all turn out. They're just so cool. And I'm going to be putting them on greeting cards and artist trading cards. And you can, and actually some canvases, some 6x6 canvases. Anyway, it's a really fun, easy thing to do to get some beautiful layered paint looks. So let me show you how I did it. Okay, so we are gonna paint some background papers or whatever that we're gonna cut these hearts out of. And I'm gonna use a brayer. Now, I think this really is the best thing for this. You could use a credit card or a what do you call maybe even a palette knife, or you just kind of don't want to glob the paint on. And I find that the brayer is the best because you can roll it out and you'll see what happens. But anyway, if you don't have a brayer, get a brayer. They're like $6 on Amazon. It'll change your life, especially because of this. This is amazing. So for each of these, I want to pick basically like 3 color combos, color combos with 3 colors, or 2. We'll see what I end up doing. And I'm going to show you one first, and then I'm going to speed through a couple others just so you can kind of get the idea. And I'm thinking maybe first we'll do a very pink one because this is for Valentine's Day. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of aqua sky paint, just a little bitty bit. Okay, it's probably might even too much. And this is typing paper, and this is 110-pound cardstock. Okay, and I'm just going to take it. Oh, I forgot my little thing. This will make cleanup easier. These are cutting boards, 2 for $1 that I get at the Dollar Tree. You can wipe stuff off of them very easily, except for stays on ink, because it stays on. So you're gonna roll it out on a piece of typing paper or whatever, and then you're just gonna kind of hit the paper with it like this, okay? And maybe I didn't get quite enough, or I took too long and it's sat up. So let's get a little more of that. Okay, just gonna roll it out a little bit. And then just here and there, not really thinking too much about it. Okay, now I'm gonna go for some Key West, Key Largo, Montego. Ooh, I almost put it on there, which is what I do when I drag credit cards. Now this one's a little thicker. I'm gonna put a little more on there. Okay, so basically it's the same thing. I'm gonna roll it out, get it, smooth on the brayer, and then I'm gonna come back in here and just kind of kiss the page with it. And I'm going to go in different directions. And I am starting with light specifically first, the lighter colors first. I'm actually going to do like maybe 3 shades of teal and turquoise, teal and blue, and then go into the pinks and maybe pop a little red in there. But we'll actually reverse that. So the first layer is going to be lightest to darkest, 3 paints in the same family, same hue. And if you want to know what colors go well together, you can get yourself a color wheel, which is good. And like here, so I'm doing, pinks and reds, whatever, and they're good with blue green, so that's what I'm basically doing there. play with that. It'll be fun. Okay, so, okay, this is one thing that does happen with paper. I probably should put a piece of typing paper down there. When you're, sorry. So my paper peeled up because it got too wet. I'll just fold that over. Okay, now I'm gonna put a little, what is this? Green turquoise. And if you have like you can do this on a gel plate over here, which makes it go further, but you'll probably end up with too much paint, which, you know, if you're doing a few of these at a time, then fine, but I find it's just easier to do on paper. And then sometimes, I mean, I've messed this one up already, you can use these brayer off papers in your artwork. Okay, that's the first 3 layers, okay? Now, I want to reverse it. I want this one to be predominantly pink, okay? So the first thing I'm gonna put is a little of this magenta. And by the way, I got this kit, or set, should say, this set of colors at Walmart the other day, and it's where's that? This yellow. They're just really beautiful colors. I don't know if you can see them. Just really interesting colors. So I bought it just because, I mean, I probably already have this sort of collection of colors, although I didn't have this magenta, because there's some really pretty colors. This coral is very nice. It's like muted, and they're satin finish. And this one's called Canyon Sunset. Just really pretty colors. So I'm gonna take some of this magenta, which is a deep dark color. Okay, oop. Oh, so pretty. Okay, I'm gonna roll it out thin on my brayer. I feel the paper is gonna give any second now. And again, I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna just go around like that. And what we're doing is building up layers, and you're seeing those little colors peek through underneath. And now, another thing, specifically because we're going to be using this to make hearts, I don't mind these harsh kind of lines, because one of the things I like to do is line up the cutouts on a line like that, shunk, okay? Or I know I did a couple of them. Maybe they weren't this size. Well, yeah. Anyway, oh, here we go. Like that, like there was a line there, I just lined it up. I like to do that with, then there's a line there with these hearts, because it makes the chaotic a little more controlled. That little piece of blue, I put it right in the center line. Whoop. Oh, don't ruin these, J-Star, they're amazing. This one, did we show you that one? Anyway, so don't worry about those lines, because they could become useful for us, okay? So now we've done the darker pink. So again, we did light, medium, dark, tealy blues, okay? And now we're doing dark, medium, light pink, okay? I'm gonna put a little on this brayer off sheet. Roll it out. Probably need more of that. That disappeared. Maybe that's not very well shaken. I think that's an older paint. I need a new medium pink. Okay. Okay. And because you're putting this on so thin, it dries pretty quickly. This has a little bit of wetness to it still because of the thinner paper, but it dries really quickly, so that's good. Okay, and for this last layer, I'm gonna mix up some pink, but I'm gonna throw some white in there, okay? Now there's still little bits of white peeking through from the bottom of from our cardstock on the bottom. So I just blob them together and I just loosely mix them, okay? And then I wanna get that paper, that paint back off of here. Okay, I think that's about good. And, you know, we've got our colors. If you want more of a color to come back through, put it on another layer, you know? It's just super simple. You know, if you want more of that turquoise in there, put it in there. One thing that you do want to remember here is kind of, you know, this is like a master board. It looks kind of weird now, but when we start cutting it, like, look how cool that is. Look how cool that is, you know? So we're gonna find different things within each page that we do, okay? So I talked you through that one. Now I'm gonna just show you this next one, okay? So here I'm starting with like a lime green. I think this is called kiwi maybe. And then I'll add the apple green on top of that. And again, I'm not trying to hit every space. I'm just getting some paint there, starting those layers. In fact, you kind of want some of that white to come out. And I love this color. It's called blue green. I mean, it's such a boring name, but it is a beautiful, beautiful color. And I feel like I probably should have put more on there. And now here, I started to do this. Oh, no. This was that medium color. Oh, I forget what that color is called. That one might be just called turquoise. Now here, I wanted to darken that up, but it turned out kind of a muddy color, and I didn't like it, so I wiped as much as I could off, and I went straight back to the original turquoise color, just plain. And that just shows you, if you make a mistake, go back, add color over it. Okay, I think that looks pretty cool. We'll set that aside to dry, and I'm gonna should do one more. Maybe I should do more. I'll do one that's like darker colors, because I've done lighter colors. I've got the pinky purple and then the green and turquoise, which, yes, I know, is going to be Valentine's. You know, it's just not all about pink and red, okay? Come on. And get another sheet. And I think, so this one I'm truly going to do 3 colors. And I think I'm going to do a turquoise on the bottom, and then a little purple, and a little pink and red, okay? And they work because they're sister colors, okay? You've got the blues, the purples, and the reds, okay? That's how you know like if they're together on the color wheel, if they touch side by side, then they work. If they're opposite, they work. And if they're in these thirds, they work. So like blue, green, purple, and orange is cool. So get a color wheel, play with it. I've also seen this thing called the color box. It looks amazing. It puts together like 5 colors for you, and it's a way to generate prompts without having, like, I always go to like turquoise, red, orange, lime, but maybe there's other colors out there in the world. Who knows? Okay, so I'm gonna start with this lighter teal. And by the way, you've noticed I've not cleaned my brush. I probably said that in the voiceover, but my roller. I've not cleaned it. I had one earlier that I'd done some reds and yellows and greens, or reds and yellows, and then I'd had reds and greens, and then I rolled it in a yellow, and these little bits of color were coming out in the yellow, and it looked so good. Okay, and now we'll go with the medium shade of teal. This color is so good. What color is it? Green turquoise. I love it. Now on this one, I'm going to do 3 colors. So I'm going to do light, dark, light, dark, light, dark, because I do want the red to be my kind of top color. Okay. So I'm going to do the lavender, and I think I'm just going to choose 2 colors from each family, each color family, 2 shades from each family. Very pretty, but we're going to go more. So I'm going to go ahead and jump up to magenta. I want this to be pretty rich. And by the way, I did choose this little, it's like a 2-inch brayer, I think. Yeah, 2-inch. On purpose. I wanted to be able to do more passes. If you do a longer one, a 4-inch one, it just covers half the page and half the page. But I wanted more individual streaks and strokes. So that's why we're using a 2-inch. It's not the size of the tool. It's how you paint that counts. Okay, now I'm going to turn this around. Maybe I need to flip that over again. Okay, and I'm going to go with real red as our top note. It almost becomes like a wine or a Bath and Body Works candle. You know, the top notes and the subtle underpinning colors. Okay, I love it. That definitely looks like Valentine's to me. And then we've got the beautiful green, sort of an underwater Valentine, and a pinky purple. I love these. Now, I'm going to let them dry. Okay, I want to let them dry completely. And then I want to give them a coat of matte Mod Podge. Okay, just want to gloss coat them. What it does, these craft paints, because they're matte finish, they the color will burst forth with the matte finish on it. When you put the finish on it, the color comes back out. Does that make sense? Okay, so let's let them dry and let's Mod Podge them, and then I'll be back. Okay, so our papers are dry now, and I've put a coat of Mod Podge on them. And this is matte Mod Podge, and just so you know, matte Mod Podge does not dry matte. It dries like a satin, almost eggshell finish, which I like. And that's why I put it over these little apple barrel paints, which do dry matte. They dry flat. So, anyway, when you put the matte Mod Podge over the apple barrel paints or whatever, there's the craft paints, it just really brings the color to life. Like, they're really vibrant when they're wet, and then they sort of mute out a bit when they're dry, but putting the sealer back on them, it pulls that back out. But I just love the way it looks. If you can see that, all the layers hidden down in there, and then our cool green and teal one, and then the red, and you see those bits of purples and turquoises back in the background. Just so cool. And then I did an orange as well while I was away, because a friend of mine really likes orange, and so I wanted to do him an orange Valentine. And now we're going to cut them up, and I'm going to use my die cutter, which I'm just going to tell you right now, I bought a load of crafts on Facebook Marketplace last year and paid about $30 a box. Well, in one box was a big shot and several dies and like all kinds of stuff. I mean, it was crazy. And then another box had another big shot in it. So I had two big shots. The only thing was this like rubberized handle was messed up or whatever. So I just put some black duct tape on it just to make it look a little better. But I forget, these are pretty expensive. I can't remember how much they were. I looked them up. Are they $50 or are they $90? They're expensive. Anyway, it came with a ton of the die cuts too, which they were all like kind of plants and kind of sweet and whatever, not things that I'd use. It did come with this funky heart die cut. It's kind of a lopsided, or not lopsided heart, but you know, it's just a cool looking heart. It's a different shape. And as a person who does not like hearts as a rule, this one's kind of cool. Anyway, and then I recently bought another one, recently being today, just a set of these, and they're graduated. So the lopsided one had like 4 in it. This one had like 8. I mean, it goes from tiny to there's even one bigger than this, but I'll explain this in a second. I don't like hearts, but I need to use them. My customers want them, and it's Valentine's Day, so you got to have hearts. So anyway, I am going to be die cutting these, but if you don't have a die cutter, you can, of course, hand cut them out. I would say make a pattern on a piece of cardboard or whatever, and then trace it onto your paper and then cut it out. Don't try to freehand the heart because they're too hard. They always look bad when you freehand them. Or get a cookie cutter. Now, I did see somebody do some hearts similar. She did an abstract collage, like a masterboard, and then she drew hearts on the back and cut them out without seeing them. Of course, I want to see them because I have to be in control. But that is an idea. You can get a lot of bang for your buck if you fit in the hearts like that. That's like 10 hearts out of one sheet. But I want to play with the arrangement. Anyway, get a cookie cutter, a couple of them. These also come in graduated sizes. I have a set of eggs because I do a lot with eggs. So you can get, a whole set of cookie cutters. Easter's coming. That's going to be cool. So anyway, you can get hearts like that. Not too much. I think they're like $7.99 on Amsterdam, on Amazon. But anyway, that's just your thing in case you don't have one of these cutters. Now, as I said earlier, I like to position them in different ways. Oh, and I should say this. So first, let's just move this over here for a second. I'm going to be doing 3 different sizes of cards. I'm going to be doing 5x7s. And I don't know where my card is. There it is. 5x7s. 4x6s, and 2.5 by 3.5 artist trading cards. Okay, so I've just pulled out the 2 sizes that work on each of these for me, so that I can kind of have a running tally of how many I've done for each of each kind. Otherwise, I won't pay attention, and I'll end up with like a ton of one thing and not enough of another. So, I mean, it won't be too bad, but whatever. Obviously, we want to cut as many as you want. So, what you want to do, or I want to do, is start with the biggest ones. Now, I only have red in the 5x7 right now, and I don't know if I'm going to order more or not. I'm going to look here first. So look at this one that I have for the 4x6. So anyway, I just keep them laid on that over to the side so I can easily pull them up and put them down. This is what I was talking about earlier. I love that line. I think that looks so cool. And I'm going to just cheat it up as much as I can. It's right on the edge. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut around this. And by the way, I love, because we have like 6 layers of paint on here and a layer of Mod Podge, this paper becomes so thick. It's like vinyl. Like I just love it. It's kind of leathery, very rich, very fun to cut and work with. So I'm going to throw that down in there. And then just looking, I definitely, since I'm going to put a big red one, put that on a red card, I want to get some red in there. So I want to use that area, I think. And again, see, I'm drawn to that line, putting that line in there. And I think I'm going to do that as again. Am I? Yeah. I mean, really, any way you cut these, they turn out cool. So just do whatever you want. I'll lay that there. And let's see if we can get anything else out of here. Okay, so I have this little place right here. I can't get that one in there, but maybe this little one can get in there. That's pretty good. I'm going to have just a little bit of overhang, but add to the coolness. Okay, so, and then of course we lay our board on top, and I'm not being too careful with this. Those scissors, and I'll put this back in the middle. Anyway, can be like Simon Hurley and say we can stare at each other awkwardly as we run it through the thing. The breaking, cracking plastic sound means you know it's working. Okay, and so now that's too small for anything, for any scraps, so I throw it away. Scraps. Oh, look. Okay, so now when I go to make my cards, I'm thinking I'm going to layer some other pieces underneath this and make it sort of a collage look, but look how cool that is. Just those bits of red picking up the red card. And then let's see, over here I've got a 4x6. Actually, I've got 2 4x6s. Oh, look at that color. Okay, perfection, right? Isn't that cool? And then we've got the little one, which is just ATC size. Let's cut out a couple more and see what else we get. Okay, I really like this look with the, again, that line separating there, but a lot of the turquoise coming through. I have a few of my turquoise cards left. Now I'm going to try to be not a 3-year-old, and I'm going to go through this side to cut. I used to teach puppet making classes in camps, and I would keep huge boxes of scraps, all the scraps, anything smaller than a postcard. We put them in these little plastic bins on the middle of every table, so that, you know, if kids needed an eyebrow or a nose or a mouth or whatever, there they were in those scrap bins. They always would come to me and say they didn't have the right color in the scrap bin. They looked, and so I'd give them a new piece of felt, and they would cut a quarter size circle out of the middle of a piece of solid color felt, not from the very edge, leaving this to be used, always from the middle. What is with that? I don't understand. Okay, so we got that one. Let's see. No, can I get any more reds out of this? I really feel like I need to concentrate on the this size, because I have the purple cards, like, so I'm gonna again trim. Line it up on that line because that's how I love to do it. Gives me some semblance of order. And I also like that this is going to end up with a little bit of turquoise on the corner there. Now you can, of course, tape these down. Like, this is moving, so I want to go back. You should probably tape them down if they're not cooperating. It's just not gonna play right. Okay, that one doesn't really matter. Well, it does because I've got the line, but I think it's staying in place. Okay. And now, of course, this looks all jaggy, but these little areas I can get more hearts out of. I did some on painted book paper, which turned out to be much harder. That's cool. Because I want my words to always be going up, and so you waste a lot of paper doing that. And I have to say, these turned out a lot prettier than the book paper. I need a new stack. Okay. Well, is that all I have? Yeah, like that. This, I can fit that heart in there. In fact, I think I will just do that one right there. That heart right there. And even this small area right there, that's big enough for one of the tiny hearts that was included in this kit. So I will save that with my other scraps in case I want to throw some other tiny hearts around. Do I have my, where do I put my tiny hearts? Oh, well, this isn't even the smallest of them. Oh yeah, there's some. So I made all these tiny hearts, but look at these little babies. Oh. So save those tiny scraps because they can be something, okay? Because, you know, that can be glued to the outside of the envelope. That can be thrown inside as confetti. You can glue it onto something. So many things. Okay, let's see. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's a good one. See, and you don't even know, like, what, you don't even know how it's going to turn out until it has turned out, which is what I love about this. It's almost like jelly plate printing, but here I think you have a little bit more control, which I like, of course, as I'm J-Star, middle name Control. Okay, pin that down. And let's see, will this fit on here? Nope. That's okay. We'll save that for smaller. It actually is probably big enough for that kind of heart, so I'll do one out of that. Just run these guys. All right. Now, like this one, oop, love that. Oh, so good. And just a pretty little heart for a artist trading card. And okay, I'll save that scrap. Oop, right there. That's good. Those are too small. But like, look at this on here with that turquoise peeking through. Like, so cool. I'm gonna cut the rest of these and then tell you one more little secret. Okay, so we have all of our painted hearts cut out, and I just love how they look. They're so cool. And you can see, I just love putting that line down there. It gives it some sort of, I guess, some symmetry. It gives it some architectural interest. Even that, like, centered that little blue part, just to give it a little something. On this orange one, I tried to get a lot of that orange, white and blue in that lobe. Here's another split one on the line like that. And I like this because I've got a line and a quadrant kind of thing going on there, and then another line. I just love them. These are just so pretty. The colors are so pretty in these. That red. I think I was a little heavy-handed with the red and the orange because I covered up a lot of the background. So I actually didn't cut very much out of this sheet. I kind of stuck to where those background colors of purple and teal were coming through. Again, adding that teal in there. And then this one I kind of did on the diagonal because that's the way it was fitting, but I like that. And then the line splitting it. So the thing that I said we're gonna do one more thing, before we put these on cards, we want to address the edges because the edges are white, and to me, they just glare when you see the white edges of something. It's too much. So we're gonna get some distress inks, distress oxides, and I'm just worrying about the edge. Now a little will spill over onto the card, which is fine, depending on what color you're using. Like I decided to go with the Twisted Citron on these green ones because I think they're going to end up on green cards like that, and I just love that look. And now here, sorry, getting into the job. Oh, well, actually, see, there's that little white speck over there. I'm not really a fan of that. Now, I can do a couple things. I can take the tiniest amount of the blue-green paint and put that on there, cover it with some more Mod Podge. Sometimes you can get a little of the ink on there, and just enough to fill it up. Like, that's not too bad. But you can fill that in if it's glaring to you. And so we just do each of the corners, even with this having that turquoise right there. Now a little bit of the citron gets on this edge, but it helps define the heart, and it gives a little bit more of those colors. Oh, did you even see that? Was I off screen? That's the turquoise I was talking about. And a little bit of this citron is coming over onto it. Let's see. I've got the candy apple red here, which we can do on some of these red ones. And this, it's a little brighter than the red, but that's fine. It can bring in a little bit of brightness, because then, like that, is that going to go on a red card? See, I don't like it on the red card as much as I probably would like it, maybe even on a blue card. Oh, see, that's really pretty. That really brings out those purples that we put underneath. And then I had some pale teal cards, pale turquoise, but I think I'm out of them. But let's look and see how this looks. With the way I cut this one, I've got a lot more turquoise in it. Now I could put something, it's a little dark, but I can put stuff to lighten it up behind there, like strips of like torn music and torn writing, stuff like that. Like that's what I kind of plan to do with these, is to collage them a little bit more. And I was going to show you some purple. Let's see. Oh, let's see the red on the pink. So this one I know is going to go on a red card, so I'm going to put the candied apple on it. And you can see on this one, it shows up a lot more because that pink is pretty light. But it's just barely. And I think it's just enough to give it a fun little edge. I think that's pretty cool. But let's look at the purple too. Oh, covered my purple. So we take a purple. And again, there's some light purple on here. So this purple edge shows up. And just sort of defines it. I think that's cool. This one, oh, I know this color matches it so well. I mean, that's really nice. It's just pretty. It's just so pretty. Anyway, so edge them out. Make them look nice. Like that. With that red in the middle, it really picks up the red there. So, have fun with this. Oh, I was going to show you. Let's see the orange. I think I have some better orange ones than this one. I do like it. It's just like, it's like Home Depot love. But I have, like, that's really pretty. I like that one. I guess that's not as orange. That's more red. In fact, that looks like it would go there. Or on a yellow. That looks cool. So now, once they're all inked, now you can just start playing and put them together. I'm going to make some small canvases out of these. Mostly they're going to be cards, but I'm very excited about them. So there we have it, our abstract painted hearts, and I love them. I think they're so cool. Just, the colors are so good, and they just pop when you put them against, your colored cardstock for making greeting cards or for making altered trading cards. Let me show you a couple of those. I pulled some little trading cards here, but just some random backgrounds. But look, something like that. It's not easy being green. It's almost like that. I mean, there's so many cute things. This isn't a great, let's see. This is a cool, well, the orange kind of fades away, but with other stuff there, you get the idea. I think that's cool. This is what I was saying isn't great, but the red on red for that super love. Anyway, I just love how these turn out, and they're so simple, just brayering on layer after layer after layer of paint, and then putting that Mod Podge finish on them really sets it off. They look like you've just cut up an abstract painting, and I just love it. Thank you so much for watching the video. Please like and subscribe and leave me a comment. I'd love to hear from you. From Funk and Dazzles, this is J-Star saying, Happy Valentine's Day, have a great day, and keep creating.